This is yet another tutorial about basic massing, and what I've done here is I've created a mass, and right now there is no mass in it. I've just created some construction chains of lines. And by the way, the last tutorial we talked about the difference between reference lines and normal lines. You can click on a chain of lines and right click, clicking element properties, and change that chain into a set of reference lines if you like. I've noticed that there are slight differences in behavior which I cannot enumerate at this moment, but it's a little bit quirky when you do that. I would, if you know what you want, I would start with reference lines drawn fresh first and not convert them from one to the other. Anyhow, for this tutorial we're going to stick with normal lines. What I'm going to do here is in elevation, let's see, I've created actually 3 levels, and they're each quite a ways apart, 500 feet. And we're looking at, this is a 100-foot square. So I'm going to grab this chain of line and this chain of lines. And going to level 1, I'm going to copy them to the clipboard and go to level 2, paste a line, current view. Remember, if I do it same place, it'll leave them back on level 1, the copies. And I'll have them lying on top of each other, which is kind of messy. And I'll go to level 3 and also paste a line, current view. So if we go back to the 3D view and I zoom out, which I can also do by hitting my little home button, this is what we've got. And what we're going to do is actually loft form through these construction lines. I want to do something a little bit maybe different this time. I'm going to go to level 2 and maybe make the scale of this guy a little bit fatter. So I'll do it 1.25. And I thought this would go straight from the center, but I guess I have to pick a point. Which I really actually like it to happen on center. So I'm going to try and cancel out of this command and maybe go back to level 1, and I want to make some reference lines. No, excuse me, what I really want to do is make some reference planes. Reference line is of a finite length and is something that drives a shape. A reference plane is well, it's like what it sounds like. I'm going to draw a reference plane, and I'll make 2 sets here, just a cross axis so I can find the center of these shapes. And do it again. Grab these guys and copy them over. What did I go? 200. 200 feet between the center lines of these guys. And I think that it understands that it needs to go up to level 3, so probably in elevation. Yeah, the reference plane knows that it needs to extend up. But you can always come back later, grab it, and stretch it down if it's getting in your way in multiple views. So I've done that, and I'm going to go back to level 2, grab this chain of lines, scale. I'm going to do it numerically. I'm going to pick the center point, and it's going to sort of inflate. I'll actually do the same thing with a square. Scale, numerical, pick a point, and it'll inflate. Now I'm going to go to level 3, and maybe I'll decrease the scale of this, so I'll make it 0.75. And I'll do the same thing with the square. You notice I can sort of see the shadow of the level below me. I think by default these may be using the level below as an underlay, which you can change in your view properties if you like. So now if I go back to my 3D view, I'm ready to loft forms between these shapes, and I'm going to save that just for the next tutorial.